You have used blueberries from a store carton and eaten one while wishing to cultivate this fruit at your residence. I still remember the moment when I had my first blueberry experience through picking a berry directly from a bush. The fruit picked from the sun-warmed bush tastes entirely different from the store-bought berries. The single handful of blueberries which I picked transformed my entire life. Home blueberry cultivation offers more than just fruit production because it provides an opportunity to experience the entire process of growing and finally harvesting a crop which you have from scratch. This guide will help you achieve your dream of walking outside to gather your own ripe blueberries. Step 1. Choose the right variety. You need to select the appropriate blueberry variety for your climate's condition, which need to be studied before any planting activities can begin. Blueberries generally fall into 3 main categories. High bush, best for cooler climates. Low bush, great for very cold regions. Rabbit eye, ideal for warmer areas. The climate conditions of your area need to be checked so that you can pick a particular blueberry variety which will thrive in your specific location. Your success depends on this one decision because beginners who choose the wrong planting type for their climate's condition face. Most beginners face difficulties because they select an inappropriate plant variety which does not match their local climatic conditions. Small spaces do not need to cause you any concern. Most plant types will grow successfully in planters which people use for outdoor spaces. Step 2. Understand their love for acidic soil. The majority of beginners need to know that blueberries have specific soil requirements which they want to achieve. Blueberries grow best in soil that contains high levels of acidity, which should have a range pH from 4.5 to 5.5. Regular garden soil usually isn't acidic enough. I planted my first blueberry bush while skipping this step. The plant survived, but it didn't thrive. The leaves turned yellow and the plant showed slow growth while it produced fewer fruits than expected. Soil testing results shows that all changes to the soil which needed to be corrected were completed after we added peat moss and sulfur to the existing soil. The following steps needs to be taken to prepare for your soil. Use a simple soil testing kit to check the pH level of your soil. Combine peat moss with pine bark or compost pine needles to create a mixture. The pH level should be decreased by adding elemental sulfur when it becomes necessary. The correct mixture for acid-loving plants should be used as potting mix when you plant in containers. Step 3. Pick the perfect spot. Blueberry plants have a strong preference for sunlight because they need 6 to 8 hours of direct sunlight every day to grow properly. The more sunlight they get, the sweeter your berries will be. Select an area which meets these 2 requirements. The area should receive direct sunlight throughout the entire day. The area requires efficient drainage because soggy roots create problems for blueberries. The areas needs to have proper air movement. People who need better soil conditions for their yard can turn to raised beds and large containers as their best choices. Step 4. Planting your blueberry bush. Berries plants should be planted during the early spring period and late fall because those times provide optimal growth conditions. The planting procedure consists of these steps. 1. Create a hole which needs to be double the width of the root ball. 2nd, the roots need to be gently loosened before you place the plant in the hole. 3rd, the root ball needs to stay at the same height as the surface of the soil. 4th, Your prepared acidic soil mixture needs to be added into the planting area. Fifth, proceed to apply water until the area becomes fully saturated. After you finish planting, the area needs a 2 to 3 inch mulch layer which should be applied. The perfect materials for mulch consist of pine bark and wood chips and pine needles. Mulch serves three functions by providing dirt moist, protecting it from temperature changes, and preserving the acid level of the soil. Step 5. Watering the right way. Blueberries require regular watering because they need continuous moisture during their initial 2 years of growth. The plant roots require water, but they need to avoid the situation where water stays on the ground. A good rule: perform deep watering session once or twice every week. The soil needs to remain moist but should not reach a saturated state. The fruiting season requires plants to receive water until the soil stays moist at all times. People living in hot climates have to increase their watering schedule. Drip irrigation system provide an effective solution to maintain consistent soil moisture levels. Step 6. Feeding your plants. Blueberries do not need high-level amount of nutrients, but they respond well to receiving specialized fertilizer, which is meant for plants that require acidic soil. The correct fertilizer application should take place at 2 specific times. The planting season begins with fertilizer application on early spring, before the first growth of new plant life. The second application of fertilizers should be done lightly after the flowering period. Applying excessive fertilizer needs to be avoided because high nitrogen levels will create a situation where plants develop excessive leaf growth but produce minimum fruits. Organic options like cottonseed meal or fish emulsion can work beautifully as well. Step 7. Pruning for bigger harvest. The majority of people stop doing this activity. The process of pruning plants can scare some people. I remember standing in front of my bush with pruning shears, but I did not know which branches should be cut. The process of pruning plants becomes essential because it leads to better growth, result in higher berry production. But the first 2 years require you to take away all flowers from the plant because that will direct its energy to building roots. All of the following activities need to take place after the plant reaches its 3rd year. The winter season needs to be used for tree trimming activities. The process needs to remove all dead branches and weak branches. The process needs to remove all older stems to build the path for new stems. Blueberries produce best on 1-year-old wood. The process of pruning plants should happen at regular intervals because it enables your plant to generate fresh harvest throughout its entire lifespan. Step 8. Protecting your harvest. All your ripe berries have become attractive to birds who will join you as you watch your crops reach perfect ripeness. Birds love blueberries just as much as we do. The following steps need to be followed by you to protect your agriculture products. Use birding netting. Install garden mesh over bushes. The most effective way to protect crops, gathering them multiple times throughout the days. Birds can strip off all the berries from a bush within a time period of less than an hour. Step 9. Patient pace of blueberries. Blueberries needs to be cultivated with patience because that skill takes time to develop. The first year will bring you only a few fruits which will grow on your bushes. The 3rd and 4th year will start bringing you larger harvests. By the 5th year, your bush will bear multiple pounds of berries annually. The special moments occurred when you step outside to pick berries while holding your coffee. No packaging, no pesticides, you didn't choose. Just fresh, sun-ripened fruit. The situation reaches the moment when you discover or value everything you work for. Growing in containers. For small spaces. People who live in apartments or who have small yards should not feel restricted because they can use container growing methods to cultivate their crops. Blueberries grow exceptionally well in pots. The following tips should be followed by people who want to grow plants in containers. Use a large pot, at least 18 to 24 inches wide. The pot requires drainage hole to provide efficient water flow. The base should be made using a potting mix which contains acidic properties. People should use water their plants with more frequency because containers have a tendency to lose moisture at a faster rate. People who want to grow blueberries in containers will find that these plants create an ideal solution because they can be moved around and handled easily while providing suitable growing conditions on patio. The following common errors should be avoided. Planting in non-acidic soil, overwatering or underwatering, not giving enough sunlight, skipping pruning, expecting a huge harvest in year 1. People who steer clear of this issue have already achieved an advantage over most initial time growers. Happy planting!